Okay, we're doing the thing, Doug.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hi, guys. I'm Emily Sinclair from ACME Real Estate, sitting with Doug Smaldino of Hillhurst Mortgage.
Hello.
Hello. All right, so this is our very first live together. We've been talking about doing this for quite a long time now, right?
Yeah, we built this room together.
We built this room together, this beautiful room that we're in. I mean, it looks like... Well, yeah, yes, it's true. But no, this looks like we're sort of having like a fireside chat, but really, we're the fire.
Absolutely.
Right?
We're on fire, girl. We're on fire.
We're the fire, yeah. So we want to talk today about, there's just so much hysteria out there right now. What's going on in the mortgage world? Like interest rates are rising constantly, and they're projected to rise even more, right? So we just kind of want to dispel any hysteria that's out there. Talk a little bit about historically what you've seen over the course of your, how many years now?
20 years as a mortgage broker and 25 years as a CPA.
Wow, okay, so together that's a whole lot of years of knowledge.
Absolutely. Had a lot of fun over the years.
And you've seen things, you've seen all sorts of housing situations.
All kinds of things. There has been in the past real bona fide bubbles. But the question is I think what we might be facing here is a lot of people today have PTSD from the Great Recession that happened back in 2007 through 2009 when mortgage companies were imploding, and they think and the consensus is, I feel like people think it's going to be a repeat of that.
Right, yeah.
But they are just two unbelievably different situations. I mean, polar opposites.
How so?
Well, let's look back do a little history lesson here real quick. In 2006, 2007, 45% of the market were adjustable rate mortgages. That's number one. Okay. Number two, none of the buyers it was a hot market between, say, 2000, 2005, 2006. Real estate prices were going up. What happened was, though, is there was no, buyers back then didn't have any skin in the game.
They were not qualified.
They weren't qualified. Yeah. I mean, there was, number one, there was no down payment, 100% financing of adjustable rate mortgages. Okay,
that's how I bought my first house. Except I didn't default.
You're one of the lucky ones. Yeah. And number two, no one had any skin in the game.
Right,
There's no down payments, and the qualifications for a mortgage would be basically, let me whip out my mirror. Let me see if you can fog a mirror. Yeah. Oh, you did. You're approved.
Do you have a pulse? Boom, you're approved.
Done. 4 units. 100% financing, $1.2 million, you got it.
Oh my God! Right.
So basically,
it's a house of cards.
It's a house of cards because it was a ticking time bomb. And the two things I'll say this, Emily, the two things that that got the bad rap from the Great Recession were mortgage brokers and the neg-am loans. And I don't think it was really the neg-am loans that really caused the market to explode. It was more of the 228s, the stuff that a lot of these hotshots coming out of the Ivy League schools, Clinton said make it more affordable, get people into housing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all good and everything, but these loans were ticking time bombs. The reason is because you would get a loan, say it was $1 million house.
Right.
I said, okay, Emily, we're going to give you an $800,000 first mortgage, interest only, let's say 5%. And a second loan for $200,000 with principal and interest around 9%. You're like, look at the payment. You're like, okay, I'm going to choke on this payment, but I'll do it because Doug, what happens in 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, Emily, your house is going to be worth 1.5 then, and we're just going to refinance you to a low 30-year fixed, and life will be good.
Yeah.
Well, that's all well and fine. It did happen that way for a while until it didn't. And what happens when you come back to me 2 years later and the house, instead of being worth the 1.5 that you projected, is now worth $950.
Right.
Ouch.
Right.
So you can't refinance. You're still choking on the payment. But what happened is two other things. Number one, that mortgage, that fixed rate, the 2-year fix, became adjustable. So the interest rate adjusted to the fair market value.
Oh, boy.
The value at that time, it might have gone from say 5 to 8. It was, remember I said it was interest only? It's not interest only anymore. You got to start saying principal and interest over the next 28 years.
Ouch!
So basically, what happened was the payment that you couldn't afford to begin with just doubled.
Oh my God.
Okay?
Yeah.
The second loan didn't because it was a fixed rate loan,
Right.
but it just doubled. And then housing prices aren't really, going up, and
Right.
you're sitting there, can't afford the payment, and you have no down payment in the game. So you say, well, let me just stay here. I'm going to stop making payments.
Oh my God.
So that happened. In today's world, we've been writing fixed rate loans in the 2s and 3s for the last several years.
Yeah.
The whole market's a fixed rate. No one's going to walk away that's got all this equity in the game.
Exactly.
See, to have a bubble, what you have to have is a massive inventory. Where's it going to come from?
Right.
Where?
Yeah.
Is it going to come from people are going to walk away from their houses to have a house in Atwater Village worth $1.5 million and they owe $800 on it? They're not going to go anyplace.
Right. Exactly.
The sure as heck isn't going to just find itself on the market because
Exactly.
the owner can't make the payment.
Right. That's really sobering. It's good to hear that because, I also know that we're not in a bubble, but it's good to hear it from you too because people do have so much equity in their homes. Even just in the past 3 years, they probably are sitting on, if they bought in 2019, they're probably sitting on 30% equity in their houses right now.
At least. Look, this has been, LA market is, only one word describes it. It's a juggernaut. It's like an ever seen the movie Unstoppable with Will Smith, trying to stop the train?
Probably,
Unstoppable.
Yes.
It's like a locomotive that can't be stopped.
Right.
We've experienced the most incredible bull market in real estate ever. And, sure, there's going to be corrections. It's like the stock market. Is it up every day?
Right.
And it's going to be a little blip in the radar here and there,
Yeah.
but, it just comes back and back. And
So let's talk about what a typical correction looks like, because a lot of people think, especially if they're a little younger, that 2008 was a typical correction, which it was not, right? A normal correction is 10%, right, at the most in a recession.
At the absolute most, yeah.
Absolute
They see a bubbles of greater than 10%. I'd say a normal correction is like 5%.
Okay.
And that's off of the value. So right now, stuff's just going up and up and up.
Right.
So first of all, we got to stop it from going up.
Right.
Where you have buyers and sellers in equilibrium, that should make prices level off, right? But what has to happen for it to go down a little bit? We have to have more sellers than buyers.
Right.
And you're out there pounding the pavement any day. What's the ratio of buyers to sellers these days?
Oh, it's insane. It's like 4 times the amount of buyers than there are to homes available.
Right.
That's why we're having, 14 offers on one home, or, in some areas there's like 30 offers. There was one in Glendale that was like 86 offers, which was absolute insanity.
So it's 4 to 1.
Yeah.
Let's say it was 2 to 1. Would that really affect prices?
A little bit. You'd have a little bidding more, but...
Instead of 86 offers, you got 26.
Right. No, yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. The demand is so crazy that it's just going to take I believe, look, I'm not also drinking the Kool-Aid. I keep hearing this bubble stuff and all these guys remind me of the song Bubble Butt, Bubble, Bubble Butt. But what I'm saying is that, the question I think I ask people is, you can't really time the market.
Exactly.
You got to, even these experts that run these sophisticated technical analysis and try to, all these regression analysis and all these things, try to time the market, they can't even do it.
Right.
You don't buy real estate to time the market.
Right.
You buy real estate and let the market just take it up with it. You just take it for the ride. The key thing is, why do people buy real estate? Well, if you buy a home, you need a place to live, right? And there's just still, one thing I can tell you is there's still a plethora of all the tax benefits of owning real estate and building wealth are still in place.
Yes. Okay. And this is absolutely the man you need to listen to, because Doug is also a CPA. So he can speak knowledgeably, and intelligently about tax implications when it comes to owning property as well, right?
Absolutely. We have a full service CPA firm and a mortgage company. I'm 100% mortgage side, but I keep my license active. We have a great team on the CPA side. But I can tell you, Emily, that people they don't understand. Like, we work with a lot of these freelance workers.
Yes.
I just talked to a couple the other day. They're making over $250,000 a year. Freelancers with the multiple W-2s, no write-offs.
Oh God.
And they're getting hammered in taxes.
Oh my God. And they're renting.
And they're renting.
Oh my
God.
God.
So, people like that, I'm just saying, like, it's just like, about sitting them down, saying, okay, let's save you a ton of taxes. Let's start building some wealth. Let's start building a real estate portfolio. And let's take you to the next level because you have great cash flow, great income, 250 grand a year. They could buy a lot even in this market.
For sure. Okay, so I'm going to be the voice of the person watching right now going, but Doug, interest rates are at 5% for a 30-year fixed right now. Oh my God, I can't possibly buy. I have to wait, right?
Well, okay, so...
This is my first house. I'm going to live in this house for 30 years, right, Doug?
Okay.
No, the answer is no, you're not going to live
No, you're not going to live in 30 years, and no, you're definitely not going to keep that mortgage 30 years.
I know.
But what I can say is, we got spoiled during COVID. They dropped the rate in the twos. That was just like an anomaly.
Yes.
Okay? It's an anomaly. Now, rates have gone up.
Yeah.
Okay? Will rates go higher? I believe there's room for them to go a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. Do I think that, this thing is here's my crystal ball. Look at the crystal ball right now.
Y'all listening?
And take this, because you guys will be calling me and putting portraits of me in your entryway. And Emily too. But here's the thing. Okay, so we're seeing interest rates go up. People that embrace this uncertainty are gonna get the good deals, okay? Mm-hmm. Because what's gonna happen, rates will go up a little bit more, then the government they jacked up the economy, and they're gonna have to bring rates down. I talked to a very sophisticated financial advisor yesterday who we agreed exactly on the same page that interest rates are going to do a full cycle. They're going to go up, maybe interest rate mortgage rates get to 7. I don't think, that's like worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I think more like 6.5 is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But
still in the realm of normal if you look
exactly.
over 20 years.
Look, I got my first loan, Emily. My first loan was 9.25.
Whoa.
My parents used to tell me, you're getting ripped off. We paid 6.25 when we got our house. Mm-hmm. Meantime, I had 3%, but the thing is that when you look at everything that's happened, we had COVID, we had, we got a war going on now. Mm-hmm. We got a government that spent money like drunken sailors. Okay? I'm not saying it was bad, drunken sailors. When they put a stimulus of trillions of dollars, not billions, trillions, Emily. Yeah. And that just, of course we have inflation.
Right.
But you know what? Look, I'm not political, but I can tell you that there's probably going to be a little bit, the Republicans might gain control in November, which is going to have an impact. They're going to cut spending, and that's going to, put downward pressure on rates.
Right.
You're going to get all this supply chain issues. Look, supply chain issues works like this. If I have one bottle of water and I got 100 people, I could sell for almost whatever I want. Right, Emily?
Right, exactly.
But if I have...
That's $1 million bottle of water right there.
Exactly. If I have 100 bottles of water and 100 buyers, I'm gonna sell them for $1 a piece or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the supply is the issue. See, one bottle of water, 100 buyers. I'm gonna jack the price up. Okay, that's just basic capitalism. Okay, right. Supply and demand. But I can tell you that with where interest rates and the economy, I see it going is you're going to see more pullback from the government on spending. Mm-hmm. Tax rates are going to stay the same, even go up a little bit, and there's going to be a slowdown. And because there's going to be a slowdown, there's going to be a drop in interest rates. And the government's go-to is the real estate. The Federal Reserve can come in and start buying mortgage-backed securities anytime they want, drop the mortgage rate. Mm-hmm. Okay? And that's their go-to. Because think about how many people employs in the real estate industry, escrow, title, appraisers, realtors, lenders, underwriters, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's never been a better time to buy.
Absolutely. Okay, so, but going back to that first-time home buyer, what product should they be looking for when they're going to get their first home? Because if they are priced out at 5%, where do they need to go?
Right. Okay, great question. As an example, Emily, in 2021, we probably wrote, I don't know, maybe a couple dozen adjustable rate loans. Mm-hmm. In this adjustable, which I'll explain. Okay. But there's a different adjustable. Relax, Emily, it's all good. But, the adjustable now, I'm talking, is not like the adjustable back in 2006. Mm-hmm. Year to date, we've written more adjustables this year than we did all of last year. Okay. I like the 7-1 ARM, which means that the interest rate is fixed for 7 years. Right. And the 8th year it becomes an adjustable rate loan with caps on it, okay? So it's not like, if rates are 15%, in 8 years from now, you're going to go up 15%.
Right.
Usually it can only go up 2% above your starting rate. So you'll have warning, you'll have time, it's not going to kill you, okay? Right. And then it'll
And are
adjust.
You married to that loan forever, or can you get out of that
You
loan?
can get out anytime. Look, that's a great question, because people right now, they're getting, feel a little snake bitten, like, oh shoot, I should have done this last year. Maybe people are we have pre-approved buyers that work on together that we pre-approved them at 3.25.
Yeah.
Now they're saying, Jesus, 5.25.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Emily, why didn't we get the property? Just singing the blues.
Yeah.
But look, it's cyclical. And I think that even if you got a 30-year fix now, or the adjustable 7-1 arm, you could still refinance anytime.
Right.
And I predict that we're going to see, I think we're going to see a massive refinance market in 2024, maybe 2025, mega, because everyone that's getting in now, they're going to all rush to refinance. They're going to drop their rates. They're going to have equity. The value's still going to go up.
Exactly.
It's going to be great.
Right. Yeah. So there's nothing to be afraid of, right? Like there's no reason to be so fearful and to say, well, I'm just going to sit on the sidelines and wait. I mean, if I have one more super sweet buyer come to me and say, man, I was trying to buy 3 years ago and then I decided to wait and now look what happened.
Exactly. I mean, waiting is synonymous with timing the market. You can't time the market. And by the time you see that the market's going up, it's too late.
Right.
So the time to get in is now, and just get rid of that fear of, a lot of the younger, we work with a lot of first-time home buyers together, a lot of millennials, and they probably do have a little PTSD from back in the day when mom and dad might have lost their house and they got shuffled around a little bit. I mean, I mean, unfortunately, on the CPA side, I'll tell you, we had clients who were going, these guys were crazy. They get their loans, they go out and they buy boats and RVs and all this stuff, and it was just
they were living the life.
They were living
going
large.
To Vegas,
then
making it rain.
Right. Then when it all came crashing down, house gone, divorced, kids are. It's a mess. It was a mess, but.
But we learn from our mistakes, right? We learn. We're not doing that anymore.
Look, I will say this. There was a lot of really smart people that got involved in the government, like Dodd-Frank Act and all these things that changed. The regulations were very strict.
Right.
They're very disclosures and stuff like that changed.
Post-bubble bust.
Post-bubble bust, yes. That's why I'm saying that it won't happen again.
Right.
It's not the whole thing of like The Big Short, too big to fail.
Right.
But one thing the takeaway from The Big Short, if you remember, when the guy went down to Florida, he saw all these abandoned houses, neighborhoods abandoned, packs of dogs running around there. That's seriously,
I know.
It's not going to happen.
No.
That's what you got to get, that PTSD, that's then, this is now. We're on a fixed rate market. Right. No one's going to, there's so much equity and skin in the game that just won't happen.
Not to mention, even though we are sort of moving out from a post-COVID world, at least from what I'm seeing as a realtor, when I have buyers coming to me, they're still working from home. They still need to have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, because if there's 2 adults working from home, and you've got a child, or maybe you've got grandma living with you, you have to have a minimum of 3 bedrooms, right? So
absolutely,
there's just such a need for bigger homes now, like a little tiny 2-bedroom, or like the 600 square foot, tiny house in Mount Washington is not going to work for people anymore. So that demand is there. That's what I'm trying to say. The demand for bigger homes that can house, multi-generational families, or the work from home quotient, like it's all there. So the demand is there and the supply is not.
Right. I mean, look, there's always an element of risk with taking the step, Emily, as you know.
Yeah.
You've done it. I've done it. Yes. You own a bunch of real estate. I own a bunch of real estate. The thing is that the deck is really weighted in our favor. I think that what's going against people and causing people to be, question things is the media.
Right, exactly.
Wrong. Everyone's saying bubble. We don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Oh my God, interest rates have gone up. It's like the worst thing. The question is you got to get back to the fundamentals.
Right.
Fundamentals is, why do you buy the house? Why do you need the house? And those reasons for like the hybrid is a big thing right now. Work 2 days a week at home and 2 in the office.
Right.
3 in the office. Tax benefits are huge.
Huge.
This is how people get rich.
Wait, does everyone out there know about your mortgage interest deduction? I mean, this is like the coolest thing. My realtor, God bless him, didn't tell me about this. And then I did my taxes, and holy moly, I thought I was rich because I also had 2 loans. I had an 80/20, but I got so much money back at tax time because of my interest deduction. Can you explain that?
Yeah, definitely. So, a lot of our clients, like I said, are freelance, multiple W-2s, and there's no real write-offs with the new tax law. That's a whole different discussion, though. We'll talk about that. But Different Zoom, but we can get to that later.
Yeah.
We'll do that good one for the next one. But, you got 200, like our couple had $250,000 of W-2 income, so they're sitting ducks for the IRS. This is sit duck going in a pond with the IRS with a 10 gauge.
$250K.
So they're paying a fortune in tax.
Yes.
And so the 2 weapons they have, at least, it's like a football game. The first play of the game, hand off, running game, get that running game established, then do the pass. It's the first play of the game, your 401k max and your mortgage interest deduction. So mortgage interest deduction means that when you get a loan to buy a house, you can deduct the interest on the loan on your federal tax return and state tax return. So if you're let's say you're in a 35% tax bracket and you pay $30,000 worth of interest, that's going to save you about $10,000 in taxes.
Wow.
Okay, and then the second part B, which is even better, you get any appreciation in the house, you get up to $250,000 if you're single, Emily, or not married. If you're married, $500,000. So you can sell that house for if you're married.
Yeah.
If you and I were married.
If we were married.
Are you? Lisa,
Sorry, Lisa.
We could buy a house.
Yeah.
For say $750. In a little place, nice little cozy place in Atwater Village, and sell it down the road for $1.3 million. Make $500 after closing costs. Pay 0 tax.
No capital gains.
No capital gains as long as you live in 2 out of the most recent 5 years. Very liberal. It can be any 2 out of 5 years. It can be year 1 and year 5, year 1 and 2, whatever.
Right. Okay. I mean, it totally makes sense to me. So and that's how you build wealth. That's right.
Of course.
That's the key.
Like if it was taxed, it'd be taxed at about capital gains rate between federal and state would be about 35%, say. So you'd be looking at giving the government $175,000 in tax out of that $500,000 gain.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it stays in our pocket. Hypothetically speaking.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is a lot of really good information. And is there anything else we need to be telling people right now?
I think it's
say go arm, go 7-year arm.
7-year arms very popular.
Yes.
Very popular. 30-year fix is still very popular because historically speaking, it's low. I think that overall, decisions have to be based on fundamentals and not hype, not what the media is saying.
Right.
Think about why do you buy real estate? What's the financial impact? Where are the tax impacts?
Right.
And benefits, actually more so. And how is if you look at step back and say, okay, I'm paying $3,000 a month in rent right now, and I'm going to go paying $5,200 a month in a mortgage. How does that impact your lifestyle? Of course, net of the tax benefits.
Right.
So if you're paying $5,200, but you're saving $1,000 a month in taxes, then apples to apples like $4,200 versus $3,000.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. I want to make sure they understand what you're saying because that's anyone listening would be like, oh my God, well, why would I want to pay $5,200? I'll never be able to go to Cabo. I'll never be able to, I'll never be able to get engaged or do a thing or have a kid. But you're saying that $1,000 of that.
I'm saying that if everyone knows what they're paying in rent right now, that's easy.
Yes.
Right.
And you can't write that off. Right?
No, you can't write it off. So it's $2,500, $3,000, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to getting a mortgage, let's say all inclusive of the property taxes, the whole payment, let's just say it goes to the $5,200 versus the $3,000. Like, oh geez, that's $2,200 more.
Right.
There's my Cabo trip.
Yeah,
there's
there's
the ring.
There's all the things. Yeah.
Okay, but to compare apples to apples, what you got to do is you got to say, okay, I'm paying $5,200, right? But Emily, we're going to save, and this is different for everybody. So this isn't bona fide tax advice. You just talk to your tax prepared to run a tax projection and say, okay, that mortgage is going to save us $800 a month, $1,000 a month, and then when you subtract that tax savings from the payment, that's the real number.
Oh, got it.
Because the rent is after tax,
Right.
the mortgage is pre-tax.
Got
So you gotta
it.
compare apples to apples.
Okay. That is really interesting. Amazing. All right. Well, my brain is very full at this moment and I feel super confident. I mean, I hope all of you are feeling really confident too. This is the very first of many Zoom room with Doug Smaldino that we're going to be doing. Lots of different topics, right? And I'm not sure what our next one's going to be, but
we got a couple ideas.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts you want to give everyone out there in the IG land?
No, just to be careful what information is taken in, and really just to keep it simple, stick to the fundamentals. Talk to there's a lot of good, of course we're the best, but there's some other good loan officers out there. You talk to them, and I'm sure they could explain it. If not, call us. We'll be happy to walk you through the mortgage aspects and the tax benefits. And it's always good to get a professional's opinion. You can talk to your CPA, but it's always good to make decisions based on sound financial information, not hype.
Right, exactly. Okay. Well, that concludes our chat for today. It's been amazing seeing you all, and we'll see you very soon.